Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're cracking open your source material on something that's really shifted, hasn't it? Personal cybersecurity. It's not just for techies anymore.
Not at all.
Right.
It's mandatory life skill territory now.
Yeah, technology is just accelerating like mad. And, our sources are pretty clear that keeping your personal info safe requires way more vigilance than it used to.
That's exactly right. And look, if you're still thinking cybersecurity is just, I don't know, for IT guys or maybe something only teenagers need to worry about, you're already behind the curve.
So, what's the mission today then?
We want to basically distill the research here into 6 core things. Foundational defenses you can use right away. Think of it as a shortcut, past the really basic stuff, straight into what you actually need to do to stay safer online.
Okay, 6 pillars. I like that. Not just a random list, but like a system. We'll cover protecting your identity, being vigilant out there, and what to do if things go wrong.
Exactly, a whole system.
All right, let's unpack the first piece, the absolute foundation, you could say, passwords. Tip number 1. Everyone knows they need a strong password, but the sources suggest that definition has, well, it's changed quite a bit, hasn't it? It's not just mixing letters and numbers anymore.
Right. It's less about just pure complexity, like throwing in a special character, and much more about length, sheer length.
Why length specifically?
Because the brute force attacks, they're just incredibly fast now. The sources are saying, look, even a 10-character password with symbols and stuff, that might only last hours, maybe days, against a determined attack.
Hours. Wow. Okay, so what's the new standard? What should people be aiming for?
The professional guidance now, based on this research, you're looking at 15 characters minimum, maybe even 20.
15 to 20. Okay, that's a lot to remember for every single site.
And that's precisely why the conversation has to shift. You can't realistically invent and remember dozens of 15-plus character unique passwords. You just can't.
So, password managers.
Exactly. A reliable password manager. It generates them, it stores them securely, it makes them unique for every site. It takes that whole burden off you.
And that uniqueness part, that's really the key takeaway here, right? Tip 1 isn't just long password, it's long, unique password.
Absolute critical. Because like you said, if you've got this amazing 25-character fortress of a password, but you use it for your email, your bank, your social media.
You've basically given them a master key if any one of those gets breached.
Precisely. The source material is emphatic. Never, ever reuse passwords across important services. One leak somewhere else, and boom, they can try that key everywhere. Unique, manager-generated passwords for everything sensitive. It's just non-negotiable now.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. And it leads right into the second pillar, which is about guarding the other stuff, the non-password secrets. Tip 2.
Right. This is the data about you that doesn't really change. Your core identifiers.
So we're talking bank account numbers, obviously, social security numbers, that kind of thing.
Yes, those for sure. But also things like, specific government ID numbers, your detailed home address, even your phone number. And the source mentions this interesting term, online certificates.
Okay, online certificates. That sounds a bit technical. What does that actually mean for the average person?
It generally refers to digital keys or tokens, things used for authentication beyond just a password. Think maybe secure access to your company's internal network or tokens for financial trading platforms accessing sensitive health records online.
Got it. So high-stakes digital keys?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stuff that proves it's really you and grants access to really valuable or private information.
And the rule for all this sensitive data bank numbers, certificates, the lot is pretty simple, isn't it?
Extremely simple. Don't give it out unless you initiated the contact through a secure, verified channel.
So if someone calls you, emails you out of the blue asking for this stuff.
Red flag. Huge red flag. No legitimate bank, no reputable organization is going to cold call you and demand your full account number or your security credentials over the phone or via some random email. Assume it's a scam until proven otherwise. Keep that information locked down.
Okay, that covers the core identity protection. Let's pivot now to vigilance and maintenance. Because the threats aren't static, they're actively trying to get in. Tip 3 is about suspicious links and messages.
Yeah, this is where social engineering comes into play.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, really. The sources stress that most successful attacks don't start with some super complex hack. They start with deception.
Like those phishing emails.
Exactly. Spam or even really personalized messages, spear phishing, designed to make you panic or curious or feel like you're missing out.
We've all seen them. Your account is locked, click here, NWO. Or, you've won a prize. They prey on emotion.
They do. And the defense is actually pretty low-tech, but effective. You just need to pause. Inject a moment of skepticism.
Check first, basically.
Always check first. The simplest trick. If you get a suspicious link in an email or message, don't click it. Just hover your mouse cursor over it.
Ah, the hover trick.
Yep. Look at the actual web address that pops up, usually at the bottom of your browser window. Does it really match who the sender claims to be? If it says it's from your bank, but the URL is like totally legit, bank.scamdomain.issue.
Yeah, probably not legit.
Definitely not. If it looks weird, it probably is. Don't click, delete it. Only click links you absolutely trust and were expecting.
Okay, so vigilance against incoming threats is key. But what about vulnerabilities in the software we already use? That brings us to tip 4. Keeping your software and apps updated.
Mm-hmm. This one requires a bit of discipline because,
Yeah.
let's be honest, update notifications can be annoying.
Right, restart required. It always seems to pop up at the worst time.
It does, but here's the thing. Those updates, especially for your operating system, your browser, your core apps,
Yeah.
they're often not just about adding new emojis. They're frequently emergency security patches.
Emergency patches. Why the urgency? Can't I just wait until the weekend?
You really shouldn't. The reason is something called zero-day exploits, or sometimes near zero-day. When a big company like Microsoft, Apple, or Google finds a security hole,
Yeah.
they rush to create a fix, a patch. But the moment that patch is released, bad actors are analyzing it too. They reverse engineer it to figure out what the vulnerability was.
Ah, so they know exactly what hole the patch fixed.
Exactly. And then they immediately write code malware to exploit that specific hole on any system that hasn't installed a patch yet.
Wow. So there's like a race.
A critical race. That window, sometimes called the patch gap, might only be hours or a few days long. If you delay updating, you're basically leaving your digital door wide open with a known vulnerability that attackers already have the key for.
So updating isn't optional maintenance, it's active defense.
Absolutely. Computers, phones, tablets, even smart home devices sometimes. Keep everything updated promptly. It's one of the most effective defenses you have.
Okay, let's shift focus from our devices to the environment we use them in. Tip 5. Being careful on public Wi-Fi.
Right. The coffee shop, the airport, the hotel lobby network. Super convenient, obviously.
But risky.
Potentially very risky. The source material advises operating under the assumption that these networks are, well, kind of hostile by default.
Yeah.
They usually lack the security, the encryption you have on your home network.
What's the actual danger? What could happen if I'm just checking on sports scores at the airport?
The big risk is what's called a man-in-the-middle attack. Because the connection often isn't properly encrypted, someone else on that same network can potentially intercept the data traveling between your device and the websites you visit. They essentially sit in the middle and eavesdrop.
Okay, that sounds bad. So what activities should you absolutely avoid on public Wi-Fi?
Anything sensitive. Definitely no online banking. Don't enter credit card details for shopping. Avoid logging into important accounts, work stuff, anything using those online certificates we talked about. Basically, any data you wouldn't want a stranger reading over your shoulder.
So what's the solution then? Just never use public Wi-Fi.
The recommended solution, and the source is quite clear on this, is to use a VPN, a virtual private network.
Right, VPNs.
When you connect through a VPN, it creates an encrypted tunnel for your data, even over that insecure public network. So even if someone is trying to intercept it, all they see is scrambled nonsense. Use a VPN whenever possible on public Wi-Fi. It's a must.
Okay, strong passwords, guarding secrets, checking links, updating software, using VPNs on public Wi-Fi. That's a lot of defense. But what if something still goes wrong, or you spot something suspicious? That takes us to the final tip, number 6. Reporting problems immediately.
Yes, and this is one people often hesitate on. Maybe they feel embarrassed they click something, or they're just not sure who to tell, or if it's serious enough.
But the advice is clear. Don't hesitate.
Do not hesitate. Report any online issues, weird activity on your accounts, online harassment or abuse, suspected fraud. Report it quickly.
Okay, let's say a listener notices some weird charges on their credit card online, or maybe they did click a link and now their computer's acting strangely. What's the very first thing they should do, even before reporting?
Good question. First, contain the damage. Disconnect the affected device from the internet immediately. That stops any more data potentially being sent out.
Okay, pull the plug, digitally speaking.
Right. Then, if you suspect a password was compromised, change it immediately, but critically, do it from a different trusted device. Don't change your bank password on the computer you think might be infected.
Makes sense. Use a clean machine. What else?
Document everything. Take screenshots of suspicious emails, weird website behavior, fraudulent charges, note down dates, times, any details you can remember. This documentation is crucial when you report it.
And who do you report it to? The source mentions law enforcement or related institutions. Can we be more specific?
It depends a bit on what happened. For general consumer fraud or identity theft issues, reporting to bodies like the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, in the U.S. is important. They track trends and can guide consumers. Your bank or credit card company needs to know about financial issues right away, of course.
And for more serious cybercrime.
For things like ransomware, major hacks, or if you have specific information about an attacker, reporting to national cybercrime centers is the way to go. In the U.S., that's often the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, or IC3. In other countries, there are equivalent national bodies. Reporting helps them build cases, spot patterns, and potentially warn others.
Okay, so that's the sixth pillar. Quick, documented reporting to the right places. It feels like it closes the loop.
It does. It makes cybersecurity a community effort in a way.
Right. So let's quickly recap the six. We've got strong, unique passwords, ideally via a manager, tip 1. Guarding your core identity secrets, like bank numbers and those online certificates, tip 2. Being super cautious with links and messages, always verifying first, tip 3. Updating all your software and devices promptly, tip 4. Using a VPN on any public Wi-Fi, tip 5. And finally, reporting any problems or suspicious activity right away, tip 6.
That covers the core advice from the sources, yeah. And if you step back and look at all six together, the big theme that really emerges is it's about constant awareness, proactive engagement.
Yeah, it's not a one-time setup anymore, is it?
Not at all. Cybersecurity is a continuous process, a loop of being vigilant, maintaining your defenses, and responding when needed.
And thinking back to how we started, with the sources emphasizing just how fast technology is changing, means our defenses have to keep pace, right? Knowledge isn't enough if your actions are lagging behind. Which leads to maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. We've heard the data today, passwords cracked in hours, the urgency of those zero-day patches. So the question is, how often are you really reviewing your own security habits? Are your passwords up to scratch? Are your updates timely? Are you genuinely keeping pace with the speed of change, or are your defenses stuck in the past?
Yeah, think about the difference in effort between creating a weak password and using a manager for a super strong one. It's minimal effort for you, but the difference in protection, it's astronomical. Hours versus potentially centuries of cracking time. Something to consider.
Definitely something to consider. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into keeping your information secure. We'll talk to you next time.